Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderlost Gaming, or welcome to Tinderlost Gaming, and welcome to my playthrough of the Dunwich Legacy campaign for Arkham Horror 3rd edition LCG. I'll get mixed up with my games there. Arkham Horror LCG. This is the final game in the trilogy of the old codgers, where I've been taking Norman Withers, Carson Sinclair and Charlie Kane through various Arkham Horror Universe games. And we end up with the classic of Arkham Horror LCG and the very first campaign that they produced for the for this game. So without further ado, let's get across to the table and see what's going on. Okay, here we are at the table, and we're all set up for one of the scenarios, but let's work out what we're doing first. So we're playing with Carson Sinclair and Charlie Kane. I'm playing the decks that I gave a test run through for in Film Fatale. That's on the channel if you want to go back and have a... I'm not going to go through an in-depth review of the decks in this campaign. I will put a link to the decks in the description, and if you want to have a little bit of a more of an in-depth look, half an hour or so of just going through the decks, I've done that in my Film Fatale scenario, which is on the Arkham Horror playlist. But I have made a couple of changes to Charlie's deck. I felt he was needed a little bit more rounding, and looking at some of the decks online, I'm not a deck design person sort of per se, so I do use Arkham Horror DB a little bit for these sort of things. But I've put in a couple of summoned hounds, and the reason why I've done that is I've at deck creation I've brought in the thick of it, which gives me 3 XP to spend before we even start, but I have to take 2 total physical or mental trauma, and I've taken 1 on 1 for Charlie, so he's down to 5 health and 5 sanity, but that should be offset with the allies that he gets in. So we've got spent 1 XP or 2 XP for 2 summoned hounds. And there we go. That's 3 cost, 1 experience ally, 3 health. Comes in with an intellect and a strength icon. It's got, as an additional cost to play summoned hounds, you must search your bonded cards for 1 copy of Unbound Beast and shuffle it into your deck. Sort of like the bad version of it. But during my turn, except during an action, I can exhaust the hound to fight or investigate with a base skill of 5. So that's pretty good. So I've got 2 of those. And just for, again, the icons and a bit of stuff, I've put in a one experience cost cat burglar. I get 1 agility pip for it when it comes in. 2 cost, 2 health, 2 sanity. And I can exhaust it for disengaging an enemy and move to connecting location, and also avoid attacks of opportunity, which I thought was pretty good. So they're going to go into the deck. I'm going to give all these a shuffle up, proper shuffle up in a minute. So those will go in, and we will shuffle up properly in a second. Most important thing, I've got my coffee. I've got my little Morse code cup, which is quite nice. I'm going to read from my handy dandy little printed Dunwich Legacy campaign guide. So the prologue. Dr. Henry Armitage pours himself a glass of Pinot and sits down at his desk, gesturing for you to sit across from him. I apologise for the short notice, he begins. His face is pale, his forehead sweaty and wrinkled with worry. Armitage, the head librarian of Miskatonic University and a former mentor of yours, privately contacted you in the hopes of gaining your assistance. Eager to help, you made your way to his home in Southside. Upon entering, you were surprised to find his home in disarray. Books and notes littered his desk, and an empty bottle of wine had tipped over onto the ground by the fireplace. You'd always known Armitage to be neat and well organised. The elderly man takes a moment to collect his thoughts. I'm looking for two of my colleagues, Dr. Francis Morgan, Professor of Archaeology, and Warren Rice, Professor of Languages. Warren was supposed to meet up with me for supper earlier today to discuss several important findings, but he has gone missing. At first I thought nothing of it, but I have a nagging feeling something else is going on, a very familiar feeling. You've never seen Armitage quite this worried before. His hands tremble as he reaches for the glass on his desk, and he sips from it nervously. I've tried to find Francis, hoping he knew where Warren was, but he too is out of touch. Francis has been spending a lot of time in some gambling den, or so I'm told. I sent for you because I'm worried Warren might be in trouble. I would greatly appreciate it if you could find him for me. You may also want to speak to Francis for help if you can reach him. The investigators must decide and choose one. Scenario 1A, extracurricular activity, or 1B, the house always wins. If you wish to find Dr. Francis Morgan first. We are going to be going to the gambling den. So we're going to be doing the house always wins. So, scenario 1B, the house always wins. Dr. Armitage suggests you track down his associate, Dr. Francis Morgan. He's not sure whether Dr. Morgan is in trouble, but he's not particularly happy with his colleague's present choice of company. He's in the Clover Club, a notorious gambling joint somewhere downtown. Finding the club's exact location isn't easy. You have to grease a few palms just to learn which of the downtown restaurants operates as the club's front. That restaurant is La Bella Luna, a somewhat upscale Italian eatery by the theatre. You change into your Sunday best and make your way there. In front of La Bella Luna stands a man in a pinstripe suit who sizes you up as you approach. Enjoy yourselves, he says with a snake-like grin as he holds the restaurant doors open. So we've done all the setup. I'm not going to go through that in a great deal of detail, but we're starting off at the Bella Luna. We've got the Clover Club Lounge in play. Clover Club Pit Boss is at the Clover Club Lounge. We've got the Clover Club Bar and the Clover Club Card Room. We've got our encounter deck, which I will give a shuffle. Oh, it's good to be playing Arkham Horror again. Haven't played it for a while on the channel. I'll give it the old obligatory cat weasel cut. We've got Agenda 1A, which says, you have entered the Clover Club Casino in search of Dr. Morgan. The club is bustling at this late hour, filled with patrons looking to relax and drink, or make it big. You don't appear to be in much danger. Each criminal enemy gains aloof. Forced, if an investigator deals damage to a criminal enemy, immediately advance. So we don't really want to be doing that, and that's got 4 doom on it. And then we've got Act 1A, Beginner's Luck. And that says you need to find Dr. Morgan. The club is packed. Perhaps somebody knows where he is. As a reaction, when you reveal a chaos token, you may treat that token as if it was any other token in the chaos bag. If you do, remember that you have cheated. Group limit once per round. Objective. When the investigators have collected the requisite number of clues, they must immediately spend them in advance. So we've got 8 clues because it's 4 per investigator. So that's quite a lot. Quite a lot of clues. We're playing on standard. So the skull will be -2 and you can spend 2 resources to treat it as a 0. We've got the cultist, -3. If you succeed, gain 3 resources. Very nice. And the tablet, -2. If you fail, discard 3 resources. Starting at La Bella Luna, 2 shroud, 2 clues, 1 per investigator. And we've got an action here, resign. This was a bust. Well, let's do that then. That's it. Game over. Right. We've got our chaos bag set on standard, and we've got our investigator decks, which I will now give a good old shuffle up to. Then draw our opening hands. Strictly not doing this in the order that the rules say you should. I think you draw your opening hand sort of quite early on, but hey ho, we're all good. We're playing for fun here at Tinderlost Gaming. So that's Charlie's deck done. Carson. We'll see how we go with this. Oops, a daisy. Cat weasel cut. And there we go. Anything else I need to do for setup? I don't think so. I think we're pretty much good to go. Right. Let's draw our opening hand. Charlie is the lead investigator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those that don't know Charlie Kane, he is a neutral investigator. His stats are 1 across the board. He has 3 additional ally slots, so I can have 4 allies in play. As a reaction, during a skill test you're performing, exhaust an ally asset you control. For this test, you get +1 skill value, plus an additional +1 for each skill icon the ally asset has that matches this test's type. And the Elder Sign effect is +3, ready an ally asset at your location. So we've got a rise to the rise to the occasion. Don't need that. We've got a dark horse, which is pretty good. I think I'll keep that. We've got a motivational speech. Oh, we're going to keep that. We've got an Alice Luxley, and we've got a Mariner's Compass. Ooh, a lot of expensive stuff there. Do I need Dark Horse? I definitely think I'm going to be keeping motivational speech and Alice. I really want to. I don't think I'm going to keep Dark. Oh. Or do I? Mariner's Compass is really good. Dark Horses. Yeah, I'm going to not take Rise to the Occasion. And we're going to draw another Dark Horse. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'll take that. I will take that. Okay. Not too shabby. And Carson is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have got custom modifications attached to a firearm. We've got evidence. Don't need that at the moment. We've got a vicious blow. Don't need that at the moment. We've got another evidence. We've got a Thompson. Oh, Thompson's 6. Do I blow? Do I? Oh my goodness. Do you know what? Just for giggles, I'm going to keep those 2. I could regret that. Yeah, let's draw 3 more. We're going to get Live and Learn, Wolf Mask, and another Thompson. Okay, Carson, we sort of we're getting the idea of what you sort of what you're all about in this game. Carrying 2 submachine guns into an illegal gambling den. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Now, poor old Norman Withers didn't manage to make the cut for this campaign. A couple of reasons, really. The main one is he's a seeker in Arkham Horror LCG. And I have played a lot of seekers in the past, wanted to try something a bit different. And also, he needs a bit of a rest. Poor old Norman, you know, in the previous two games, not so bad in Arkham Horror 3rd edition, but yeah, he really didn't pull his weight in Mansions of Madness. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but go back and watch the playthroughs of that. And yeah, Norman sadly didn't make the cut. Alrighty, right. Let's make a start. I've got 5 resources. So first of all, first action from Charlie is going to play motivational speech. Choose an investigator at your location. I'll choose Charlie. That investigator may play an ally asset from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. So we're going to pay 1 down to 4 for Alice Luxley. Two actions left. Not going to quite work this time. Second action, pay 3, so down to 1 for Mariner's Compass. Third action, we're going to have a go at investigating. So I'm currently base of 1. I will exhaust Alice. She already gives me +1, so I'm at 2. I go to 3 because I'm exhausting her. And then I go to 4 because of Alice's icon. She's got the icon, the intellect icon. So we are 4 versus 2. Do I want to chuck anything in? I can't chuck anything. So 4 versus 2. -4. There we go. That's how that's going to rock. So that is Charlie done. Not the best. Not the best. Now with Carson. God. Ooh. Right, let's do it. First action. Gain a resource. Taking me up to 6. Second action. Spend 6 resources. God, I think that's the most expensive card I've ever spent. To play a 45 Thompson. Comes in with 5 ammo. That's double-handed. That was my second action. No resources now. Let's have a go at investigating. Let's have a go at investigating. Um, 2 versus 2 for that. 2 versus 2. 2 versus 2. -1. We fail. So at that point, I'll play live and learn. We failed the skill test, so we're going to attempt the skill test again at +2 skill value. So 4 versus 2. 4 versus 2, -0, 0. So we get the clue. Also, then Carson will do his... So Carson's ability is you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used on the below ability. Action: choose another investigator at your location. Immediately take an action as if it were their turn. I'll choose Charlie, who's going to take an action, and his action is to investigate. And he is. Oh, we've already exhausted Alice. Oh, okay. No, his action will be to gain a resource up to 2. His action will be to gain a resource up to 2. And there we go. That's the investigation phase done. Enemy phase, there are no enemies in place. We don't need to worry about that. Upkeep phase, we ready everything. And we gain our actions back. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get trial by fire. Fast, play only during your turn. Choose one of your skills until the end of your turn. Set the base value of that skill to 5. And Carson is going to take the initiative. Commit only to a skill test you're performing. Take the initiative, loses wild icon. Comes in with 3 icons for each action that's been completed by any investigator this phase. We gain a resource. Charlie goes to 3. Carson goes to 1. We go to the mythos phase. We put a doom on the agenda. Charlie's our lead investigator, so he's going to get O'Banion's thug. They gain aloof, so it's going to be chilling out at the La Bella Luna. And Carson is going to get something in the drinks. Search. Each player who's had a drink loses an action. Well, we've not had a drink, and it gains search. Twist of fate. Revelation. Reveal a random token from the chaos bag. We've revealed a cultist. We have to take 2 horror. Wow. Nothing we can do about that, I don't think. So we are down to 4. One, 2. Oh, 2. There we go. We go to the investigating phase. Well, I think we're going to start off with Carson. First action is to investigate, play and take the initiative. So we're currently 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. First action. -2. We win. We get the clue. Okay. Second action, pay 1 to play the wolf mask. Comes in with 2 offerings on it, and we can get +2 fight or +2 agility. At this point, I'm going to use my additional action to choose another investigator at my location. I'll choose Charlie, who's going to get an action, and he's going to move to the Clover Club lounge. Clover Club boss has got aloof. 2 shroud, no clues. Whilst it's Act 1, which it is, action, discard an ally asset from your hand, gain 2 clues. Limit once per game. Okay. And then Carson's third action is to move himself to the Clover Club lounge. And that's it for Carson. Okay. Charlie. I think you're going to have to go off on yourself, Charlie. Well, first action is going to pay 3, so down to 0 for Dark Horse, which means he's getting +1 to all of his stats. Now, does Charlie want to go to the Clover Club bar or the card room? Second action, I think Charlie's the sort of fella that's going to go to the bar. So he's going to go to the bar. We'll flip that over. Clover Club bar, 3 shroud, no clues. Whilst it's Act 1, Clover Club gains. Spend 2 resources, gain 2 clues from the token pool and draw 2 cards. Remember that you've had a drink. Okay. Oh, that's a bit frustrating. So I think for his third action, he is going to gain a resource. It doesn't help him with Dark Horse and Mariner's Compass, but no clues to get anyway. And that is it for their turn. We go to the enemy phase. Obviously, they're all aloof, so we don't need to worry about that. O'Banion's Thug has not got Hunter or anything like that. Or actually, I should have moved the Clover Club pit boss, which effectively means he'd be here anyway, because he would have moved there and then he'd have moved back here. So that's fine. He's got Frey, highest intellect 2, and yeah, it would have been Carson, so that's fine. That's it for the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. Gain a resource, up to 2 for Charlie, up to 1 for Carson. We gain a card. Charlie's going to get motivational speech. Carson is going to get as you wish. That's Carson's special. Commit only to a skill test being performed by another investigator. If this test succeeds, the performing investigator draws 1 card. If the test fails, you draw a card. I don't think that's the greatest signature, in all honesty, but it is what it is. We ready up. Gain our actions. And then we go to the Mythos phase. We put a Doom on the agenda. We take a drink of our coffee because it's getting a little bit cold. And then Charlie's going to draw a card. He gets hunted down. Revelation. If there are no unengaged criminal enemies in play, hunting down gains surge. If there are one or more unengaged criminal enemies in play, each one of them moves one location towards you. Each criminal enemy then engages you as a result of this and makes an immediate attack. Okay. So, Clover Club hit boss. Yeah, I just want to make sure of this because obviously there's lots of stuff going on. I mean, I suppose it overrides aloof because this is what it's telling us. So, if there are one or more unengaged criminal enemies in play, each of them moves one location towards you. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result of this effect makes an immediate attack. So Clover Club boss is going to move to Charlie and engage him. O'Banion's Thug is going to move towards Charlie. So he's now at the lounge and makes an immediate attack. So Clover Club pit boss is going to hit us for 2. We will put 1 onto Alice and we will take 1 down to 4. Okay. That's a bit annoying. That's a bit annoying. Then we're going to get Carson's card, which is O'Banion's Thug. So a few thugs are following. I mean, obviously, I think the thugs have spotted the massive Thompson machine gun that Carson's got tucked under his coat. Okay, that's it for the Mythos phase. We go to the Investigator phase. Now, this is a question, I suppose. If I disengage with Clover Club or try to evade the Clover Club pit boss, I take it he then won't re-engage me because they've got aloof. The cards forced him to engage with me. But once I disengage with him, aloof for me kicks back in. I don't really want to do him any damage because that's going to advance the agenda straight away. If an investigator deals damage to a criminal enemy, immediately advance. Oh, I can't gain a resource because then I'm going to get an attack of opportunity. Okay. This is tricky. Gonna have to think about this, I think. Well, I have to say I'm glad I just checked because I've had to put a few things right. So aloof would override the attack. So hunted down effectively doesn't do anything at this point because aloof stops it. So I've given Charlie his wound back. I've given Alice her wound back, and Clover Club Hoss just moves towards me. That's it. That's good. That's good. So we're not engaged with the Clover Club pit boss, and we're at the Charlie's at the bar. So he will spend his 2 resources to gain 2 clues. But we've got to remember we've had a drink. So Charlie gains 2 clues. That was his first action. And also he draws 2 cards. Yeah, draws 2 cards. So he draws a Madame Lebranche for 2 and a Rise to the Occasion. Excellent. That was his first action. Okay. I will play my second action, motivational speech. Choose an investigator at your location. I'll choose myself. That investigator may play an ally asset from the hand, reducing its cost by 3. So I will play a Madame Lebranche, who's 2 costs, so she costs me nothing. My second action. What have we got? Third action, I'm going to move down to the card room. 3 Shroud, 0 clues. Whilst it's Act 1, Clover Club card room gains action. Spend 2 resources, reveal a random chaos token from the bag. If it's an elder sign symbol, gain 2 clues and 2 resources from the token pool. If it's an even number, gain 2 clues. If it's an odd number or a symbol, then nothing happens. That's it for Charlie. We really need to be Charlie with Carson to get Carson's bit. So now we move on to Carson. First action. He's got no allies he can discard, so we can't do that. So first action is going to be moving down to the card room. Second action is gain a resource, so it goes up to 2. Third action is to... What can Charlie do? Well, before he does his third action, I will do his additional action. Choose another investigator at your location. They immediately take an action as if it were their turn. Now, do I draw a card or do I gain a resource? Well, I don't really want resources. So I think I'll draw a card. Scene of the crime. No help because there's actually no clues on anything at the minute. Got 4 clues. We need to discard an ally. Need to draw another ally. So for Carson's third action, he's going to spend his 2 resources to reveal a random card. 0 in this game is classed as an even, I think. Let's see what we get. -1. That's an odd number. Nothing happens. Ugh. Okay. that is it for the investigator phase. I was just panicking there that I hadn't pressed start on the recording. Investigator phase. Sorry, enemy phase. Clover Club pit boss is going to move down to be with the boys because Carson is looking very dodgy with his bulgy coat. And Charlie's sort of wandering about the place. He's had a bit of a drink. Okay. Albanian's thugs have not got anything. They're just going to hang out at the lounge. Upkeep phase. We're going to get our actions back. We're going to gain a resource. We're going to draw a card. Ah, right. Now we've got an Alex Luxley. We've got an Alex Luxley. That's handy. And Carson is going to get an evidence. Not really helpful in this scenario. That is it for the upkeep phase. We go on to the mythos phase. We put 3 of 4 on the agenda. Charlie is going to get arousing suspicions. Place 1 doom on each criminal enemy at your location. If no doom was placed by this effect, lose 1 resource. Okay, well that's actually not too bad because this is going to tick anyway. And Carson is going to get cursed luck. Put cursed luck into play in your threat area. You get -1 skill value during skill tests. After you succeed at a skill test by 1 or more, discard cursed luck. Investigator phase. Oops. The book's just fallen down. Right. So let's start off with Carson. He's going to have a go at the Clover Club card room. First action, gain a resource. It's up to 2. He's going to do his additional action this turn. Choose another investigator and they can take a turn. So he's going to choose Charlie. He's going to move to the Clover Club lounge. So that was his free action, if you like. His second action, second proper action, is to spend his 2 resources to draw a chaos token. Come on. We need an even. We need an even. Hey, yes. Come on. So we gain 2 clues. So we're up to 4. And we gain 2 resources from the token pool. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I shouldn't have done that. I'm all cursed now. Right. We're on it. We were on it. So... Now, do we? We're going to get a resource so we can spend that on custom. I'm just trying to think of next turn. So we've got 2 resources. We've got custom modification. Which would be nice to put on his Thompson. We're not defeating any enemies at the moment. Would it be nice to be in the same location as Charlie? Oh, do you know what I think it is going to be? Yeah. Third action, we're going to move to the lounge. Let's hang out together. Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers. Charlie's action. First action. Discard an ally from your hand. Discard Alex Luxley. Gain 2 clues from the token pool. We gain 2 clues. We are now at 8 clues. When the investigators have collected the requisite number of clues, they must immediately spend them and advance. So we're going to spend all 8. Oh, no nails. Oh my God. All 8 clues. Takes me half an hour to take the clues off. High roller. After speaking to a number of gamblers and servers, it seems as though Dr. Morgan has quite the run lately. Instead of cashing out his winnings, he was convinced to double down. He was last seen entering the guarded hall near the back of the card room. Put the set-aside darkened hall into play. If it is agenda 1, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a criminal enemy is discarded and spawn them at the darkened hall. Right, bear with me while I set that up. Okay, darkened hall is in play, so I've got to then discard until a criminal enemy is mobster. 2 fight, 2 health. Retaliate. After he attacks you, lose a resource. And then we move on to skin game. Oh no. Yeah, skin game. Dr. Morgan is somewhere in the private section of the club where only VIPs and the club managers are allowed. If you are to find him, you're going to have to sneak or even fight your way in. Only investigators in the VIP area may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. 4 clues, 2 per investigator. All right. So that was Charlie's first action. Okay. The darkened hall is connected to the card room. It's not connected to anywhere else. So we've got to go through the card room. That's going to advance next turn. Definitely, because there's 4 on. Hmm. Got 2 actions left. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to spend 2 actions. Move, move. So he's going to go to the darkened hall. 4 shroud, no clues on it. When darkened hall is revealed, put the 3 set aside back hall doorway locations. Let's do that. Actually, let's do that properly because I don't want to be accused of any cheating. So we'll flip all these up. And then these are going to come into play. They're all connected to the darkened hallway. Oops. Here's my LCG tokens. Okay. Could be a problem for Charlie, but hey ho, because I think I've got a feeling, if memory serves me correctly, I played this scenario but a while ago. I think they're all now going to lose the loot, but we've got to do what we've got to do. We need to invest 4 clues to get in the VIP area. All right, that's it for Charlie. So we go on to enemy phase. Abanion's thug's going to stay where it is, or they are going to stay where they are. The mobster's going to stay where he is, and then the Clover Club pit boss is going to hunt the highest intellect, which is 2 or 1. So he is going to head towards Carson. Carson is really, he's got some problems going on over there. All right. I think that's it. We go on to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready up. We gain a resource. Charlie's up to 2. Carson's up to 3. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get calling in favours. Okay, that could be useful. And we're going to get vicious blow. Ooh, okay, that's handy. That's handy for Carson, I think. That is handy for Carson. Okay, that's it for the upkeep phase. We go to the mythos phase. We're going to put a doom on, which should be 4, 5, and then we check it, and then that's it. So we then remove all doom. We're going to flip that card. I'm trying to keep all my tokens nice and neat so I know where to get them from. So, Clover Club. Your questioning has drawn the attention of several men, hired thugs by the look of them. No, yeah, I think it has. Francis doesn't want to be bothered, one of them says. We suggest you leave the premises before we force you to leave. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If the players have completed extracurricular activity, move directly to Agenda 2B. If the house wins, is the first scenario, advance to 2A. So this gets shuffled in. We do the obligatory and contractually required cat weasel cut. That goes. We go to 2A, underground muscle. Most of the other patrons seem oblivious to mobsters and goons closing around you, but you recognise this for what it really is. You're about to get roughed up. Yeah, you're not wrong, because each enemy doesn't have loot now. So Carson is going to be engaged with the pit boss and 2 O'Banion's thugs. And Charlie is going to come engaged with our mobster. Wow. Knew that was going to happen, but there's no way around it. And we haven't drawn our mythos cards yet. Oh, this could be not good. So Charlie's going to gain his mythos card, which is Twist of Fate. Twist of Fate. We reveal the cultist token, which means I take 2 horror. But with good old Charlie, their allies are going to do their thing. One goes on to Alice and one goes on to Madame. And that's it for Twist of Fate. Carson is going to get hunted down. Oh, I knew it. Honestly, this game, man. That's going to kill him. If there are no unengaged enemy criminals in play, hunted down gains. Oh, hang on a sec. So no, if there are no unengaged criminals in play, hunted down gains search. If there are 1 or more unengaged criminal enemies in play, each of them moves towards one location towards you. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result of this effect makes an immediate attack. Well, none are going to move towards me and engage me because they're already engaged me. Each criminal enemy that engages you as a result of this effect makes an immediate attack. So, no. Because there's no unengaged enemies. If there are no unengaged enemies in play, it gains search. Right, fine, got it. So, because they're all engaged, it gains search. So, Charlie's going to get a swarm of rats, or Carson's going to get a swarm of rats. Brilliant. Wow. Ooh. Okay. We go on to the investigator phase. Charlie's got to somehow deal with this mobster. Charlie's got to somehow deal with this mobster. 2 fight, 2 health, 2 evade. Could take a risk. Charlie could take a risk. You will take an attack of opportunity, which is fine. We can put that on one of the allies. First action, he's going to play calling in favours. We take an attack of opportunity from the mobster, which we're going to put onto Madame Lebranche. Choose an ally asset you control and return it to your hand. So I'm going to choose Madame Lebranche. I'm going to return her to my hand. Search the top 9 cards of your deck for an ally asset and play it, reducing its cost by X. X is the cost of the ally asset. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're looking for a summoned hound. We've got one. We've got one. We'll take summoned hound. Ooh. Well, we've got cat burglar as well. I actually think I prefer cat burglar. Yeah, I think I'm going to take cat burglar. I think I'm going to take, yeah, I'm going to take cat burglar. That goes to my discard pile. Oops, Daisy. Cat weasel cut. Now, second action, I'm going to play cat burglar for 2 because it's 4 costs. We put Madame Lebranche back to our hand, which is 2, so that's my 2 resources gone. Takes an attack of opportunity. 1 onto Alice. We will then exhaust cat burglar to unengage from the mobster. It doesn't say exhaust it. It just says disengage. We're not evading it. And then move to a connecting location. So Carson is going to move down. That was his. Yeah. First action was to play calling in favours. Second action was to play cat burglar. And then third action was to exhaust cat burglar to move to the card room. And that's it for Carson. Mobster's going to stay there. Right. Now, what am I doing? It's not, no, it's Charlie. Charlie. What am I doing? It's going to go there. Oh, it's such a, right. And then, what was I doing? Charlie's going to move to here. Had a bit of a, okay, right. We've got the VIP area. 3 shroud, 2 clues per investigator. When you're in the VIP area, you cannot draw cards or gain resources during the upkeep phase. Oh, that's a bit annoying. But that's it for Charlie. Carson over here with all of these. Good job we've got our Thompson. Carson really needs to get with right, so first things first. We're going to fight using the Thompson. Pit boss. We're going to fight the pit boss. So we are currently at fight 2. 4 for the Thompson. We're going to spend a wolf mask to give us +2 fight. So 2, 4, 6 against 4. 5 against 4 because of cursed luck. I really want this to succeed, so we're going to put a vicious blow. So we're now at 2, 4, 6, 7. 6 versus 4. Going to do it 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. 0. We're successful. Now, we do 1 damage as standard. 2 damage for the Thompson. 3 damage for the vicious attack. Vicious blow. So we do 3 damage to it. Oh, I was hoping to do 4. We succeed, so that's going to go. So the Clover Club pit boss has taken 3 damage. Second action is to fight using the Thompson. The pit boss. Those have gone. So we're 2, 3, 4. We'll use a wolf mask to make a 6. 6 versus 4. Gonna have to put that in. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. -2. It's enough to kill the pit boss. That was my second action. That goes to the victory display. We'll put that up there. Oh, it's a bit shiny. Sorry, lights. Nothing I can do about that. We'll put that there. That's our victory display. Oh, God. There. Over here. Just as bad. Oh, my goodness. There, that'll do. Okay. Then we need to kill one of these Abanian thugs, really. custom modifications gone. Third action, fight using the Thompson. 2, 4. 4 versus 2. Four versus 2. +1. We do it. We kill that O'Banion's thug. And that is it for Carson. Done all right. Killed the pit boss. We can't give anybody an extra action because they're not at the same locations. So we move on to the enemy phase. We're going to be hit for 3. 2 from the O'Banion's thug and 1 from the swarm of rats. So that is going to take Carson down to 3. One, 2, 3. There we go. That's it for the enemy phase. Go to upkeep. We're going to ready up. We can't draw a card or gain a resource for Charlie because we're in the VIP area. But Carson does gain a card, which is Hunter's Armour. Hunter's Armour. Gains a resource. Okay. We ready up Cat Burglar as well. We go to the Mythos phase. We're going to put 1 Doom of 3 on Underground Muscle. Charlie's going to draw a card. Charlie gets Arousing Suspicions. Place 1 Doom on each criminal enemy at your location. Charlie is not engaged with any. If no Doom was placed by this effect, lose 2 resources. Fine. I've got 0 resources anyway, so excellent. And then Carson is going to get Arousing Suspicions. Place 1 Doom on each criminal enemy, which is he's got 1 thug at his location. The swarm of rats, funnily enough, isn't a criminal. Happy with that. Happy with that. We go to the investigation phase. Right, now let's see what Charlie can do. Well, let's see what Carson can do. Oh, at the start of... Oh, after I engage an enemy, you get to replenish it. Not at the start of the phase. That's the wolf mask. Okay. Fire 4's not good. first action for Carson is to hit the Albanian's thug. We'll fight with the Thompson. We're at 4 versus 4. That's not good. Four versus 4. Got nothing I can chuck in against it. Gonna have to risk it. 4 versus 4. Come on. Come on, Chaos Bag. -3. I can't afford to take an attack of opportunity. He's going to be dead. Oh, man. Gonna have to do it again. Second action. Fight with the Thompson. 4 versus 4. Come on. Come on. +1. Yes. Oh, right. We do 2 damage to Albanian's thug, which kills it. I will pay 1 to pay evidence. Fast, after you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. So he's going to get that. And then we've got to try and kill. Oh, after you engage an enemy. Damn it. I thought it might have been after you kill an enemy. Last action. Carson is going to try and punch the swarm of rats. 2 versus 1. Two versus 1. -2. Ah. Oh, actually, hang on. You may spend 2 resources to treat that as a 0. I'm going to spend my 2 resources down to 2 to treat that as a 0, killing it. Ooh. Right. Yeah. 2 versus 1, 0. We're good. All right, so that's Carson done. So then we're going to move on to Charlie. Let's get the clue from here. So first action is going to be using the Mariner's Compass to investigate. Oh, it doesn't really make no difference. Because it can to get to discover one additional clue. There's no point in doing that because I'm only going to get one clue anyway. So we're just going to investigate as normal. So we are 1, 2. We will exhaust Alice Luxury to go to 3, 4. 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3. Will player rise to the occasion? Commit only to a skill test you're performing, only if the difficulty of the test is at least 2 higher than your base skill value. My base skill value is 1. It's a shroud of 3. So we are 1, 2, 3 for the book, 4, 5, because we're exhausting Alice and she's got a token, so 5. So that's 8. 8 versus 3. -2. We succeed. We get it. That was his first action. Now that mobster is a right pain being there. But second action is to move back into the the darkened hallway, which engages the mobster. I will then exhaust cat burglar to disengage with that and move to a connecting location. I will move to this one. What do we got here? We have got art gallery, shroud of 2, 2 clues per investigator. After you fail a test when engaged while investigating the art gallery, you lose 2 resources. That's quite handy for him. I think that was his third action, wasn't it? First action was to investigate. Second action was to move. Third action was to exhaust cat burglar. All right. Okay. So we move on to the enemy phase. No enemies for Carson. The only enemy in play is the mobster, who is not a hunter, so he's going to stay there. We go to the upkeep phase. Charlie is going to gain a resource this turn. Get our actions back. Actions, he's gained his resource. Carson's going to gain his resource. Charlie's going to draw a card. He's got Bonnie Walsh. Very nice. We've got a runic axe. That is very nice for Carson. He does like chopping people's heads off. Go watch a film fatale scenario. Carson does like chopping people's heads off. All right, okay. We're going to go to the mythos phase. Place of Doom on the agenda, 2 of 3. We're going to draw a card for Charlie. Charlie is going to get Cursed Luck. That's not great. And Carson is going to get Hunted Down. There's no unengaged enemies in play. There is, so the mobster is going to move to there. That's actually quite handy. That's actually quite handy. We go to the investigation phase. These should be done. First action for Charlie is to gain a resource. Second action for Charlie is to spend those 2 resources to put Madame Lebranche into play. Third action is to investigate using the Mariner's Compass. I'm going to exhaust it. I've got no resources. Now, this is where we need to be exhausting. So we're going to exhaust Madame Lebranche and we're going to exhaust Alice Luxley. So where we're at is we've got 1 book. We get 2 for here because we've exhausted her and she's got a book. So that takes us to 3. We get a natural book here, so that takes us to 4. And we've exhausted her and she's got the book, so that takes us to 6. So it's 1, 2 for here, and then 2 each for those. So that's 6 versus 2. 6 versus 2. Six versus 2. Do I want to chuck anything in just to make it? 6 versus 2 is 4. No, we should. Well, hopefully it'll be all right. 0. Because we use the Mariner's Compass, if you succeed and have no resources in your resource pool, which we don't, gain an additional clue. So Charlie's going to get both of those. That was his third action. So now we've got to get back to the VIP area to spend those as a group because we've got 4. So that's it for Charlie. Oh, -2. We did succeed by 1 or more, so that goes. Oh, I do like Charlie. Okay. Carson. First action is to gain a resource, taking me to 4. Second action is to spend those 4 to equip the runic axe. Thompson goes because the runic axe is double-handed. It comes in with 4 charges on it. I'm not going to have enough this turn, unfortunately. Do I draw a card or do I gain a resource? I'm going to draw a card. Take the initiative. Okay. That's it for Carson. That was his third action, was to draw a card. Go to the enemy phase. Mobster's going to stay there. He's not got no movement. That's going to pop. That's going to pop. Nothing I can do about that. We go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready up. We gain a resource. Do I want to gain a resource? Do I want to gain a resource? Yeah, I do. I do. Draw a card. Resourceful. Very nice. Hallowed mirror. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. That's it for the upkeep phase. We go to the mythos phase. We're going to put 1 on here, which is going to trigger this. Sudden chaos. You hear a crash from somewhere outside and screams of pain in the lounge. A terrible monstrosity smashes through the entrance to the club, crashing the stairwell and knocking over gangsters and patrons alike. Spawn a random enemy from the set-aside Hideous Abominations encounter set at the Clover Club lounge. Shuffle the rest of that encounter set and the set-aside Striking Fear encounter set and encounter discard into the pile into the encounter deck. Move all investigators and unengaged enemies from La Bella Luna to the Clover Club and then remove it. So, okay, let's take this one set at a time. There is the Striking Fear, which we'll put in a second. And then we've got these 3. We're going to draw 1 randomly. That will be the random one. And then we put all of this all the discard pile and these and this. Right, pause there for a sec when I'm going to give these a shuffle up. Okay, right, we'll shuffle those up. Let's see what we've got. We have got a conglomeration of spheres. 1 fight, 6 health, lowest. Well, it's going to engage with Carson. So you can see. After you perform an attack against the conglomeration of spheres using a melee card, discard that card. Oh God. Ugh. 6 health. Okay. That engages Carson. The Bella Luna goes. That can go there. That goes. We've shuffled the encounter deck. We've done that. That's it. Those go. And then we're on Chaos at the Clover Club. 7 doom on it. Amidst the chaos and confusion, the strange abominations attack everyone in the club. Screams echo through the halls as the blood begins to spray. At the start of the enemy phase, discard each criminal enemy in the same location as an abomination enemy. Okay. Ooh, right. Okay. We draw our encounter card. Charlie is going to get... Oh, no. Yeah, it's Carson. Charlie is going to get Cursed Luck. That's Charlie. He's going to get Cursed Luck. Carson is going to get Twist of Fate. Draws a -4. Takes 2 horror. He takes 2 horror. He's down to 2. Oh no, if you reveal... No, sorry. It's -4. If you reveal any other number, take 1 damage. He's down to 2. 2 health. Okay. Twist of Fate's gone. We go to the investigator phase. Oh, I've been forgotten to put my clues on. Been forgetting to put my clues on. Oh well. Right. What am I doing? Oh, we engaged an enemy. So we're going to get 1 offering onto the wolf mask. 6 health. 6 health. Now we need to get Carson to the VIP area because he's got the most bloody clues. No, I've been putting it on the wrong person. What am I like? It should be three over here. God, what am I doing? What am I doing? So that should be 1 there and 3 there. Sorry if people have been shouting at the screen. Who do I go through first? I'm going to go with Charlie first, who's going to move for 2 actions to move. He's going to move 1 to there and then 1 to here. Two clues. We can resign here. His third action, he's going to exhaust the mariner's compass. No, I'm going to sorry, going to backtrack. I'm not going to take my resource. Sorry, shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to take the resource. Bit of hot tub time machine there. He's going to exhaust the mariner's compass to investigate. And then he will exhaust Madame Lebranche and Alice Luxley. So we are 1, 2 for Alice because she gives us 2, 4, 6 because we're exhausting them and they've got the resource. So 6 versus 1. Six versus 1. We'll take that. 5 versus 1 because of cursed luck. Oh, yes. +3, ready an ally asset you control at your location. Already Alice. +3, which means we smash that test. Cursed luck goes. Because we used a mariner's compass, we've got no resources. We're going to discover an additional clue. Put it on the right one, MB. So now we've got 5, 6. We're good. We're good. But that is it for we need to kill the conglomeration of spheres. Oh, I'm playing the wrong bloody cards here. What am I doing? I'm getting right confused with these at the moment. Never mind. Played it now. Try using those cards, MB. Right, so Carson. First action is to fight. We will play Take the Initiative. Take the Initiative has got 3 wild on it, and it loses 1 for each action that's been completed. We haven't completed an action yet, so I'm fight 5. So 2 from here, 3 from there. 5 versus 1. I am gonna take 4 of these off. Fighting with the runic axe. You get +1 fight for this attack, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm spending it on power. You may spend, before this attack, you may spend any number of charges to imbue the axe with many different inscriptions. I'm going to do them all on power. So it gets +1 damage. So I'm going to be hitting for 5 damage. And it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1. Zero. We do 5 damage to the conglomeration of spheres. 5 of 6. But unfortunately, after you perform an attack against the conglomeration of spheres using a melee card, discard that card. Nothing I can do about that. Second action is to fight. I will use the wolf mask at this point to remove that to give me +2 fight. So it's 4 versus 1. 4 versus 1. And I've got nothing I can chuck in there. 4 versus 1. -3. 4 versus 1, -3. We are successful. We do 1 more damage to it, which is enough to kill it. We punch it rather than axe it. That's the conglomeration of spheres gone. Can't move into the mob stuff. I'm going to have to stay there. Last action. I'll gain a resource. Up to 2. And that's it for Carson. Happy with that. Happy with that. Okay. Enemy phase. Mobster's staying where he is. No other enemies in play. Upkeep phase. We're going to ready up. Going to gain a resource. I'm going to draw a card. Charlie is going to get paranoia. Discard all of your resources. Well, I'm quite happy with paranoia for Charlie. Thanks very much. And 1 in the chamber. It's got a fight value on it. That's handy. That's handy. We ready up Mariner's Compass and Madame Lebranche. And that is it. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 Doom of 7. Charlie's going to get a card. Charlie is going to get Dissonant Voices. Can't play assets or events. Not bothered. Not bothered. Carson is going to get Nabanion's Thug. Damn it. We engage an enemy. So we put 1 onto Wolf Mask. we go to the investigator phase. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So Charlie is going to move for 2. 1, 2 into the VIP area. And then we're going to spend the number of clues. So we're going to spend 4 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4. To flip skin game. If players have not completed extracurricular activity, you find Dr. Morgan gambling in one of the VIP rooms, but he appears to be playing cards with 2 unconscious bodies. His pupils dilated as though in a trance. He can't seem to stop laughing, smiling and chatting with the other players. Put the set-aside Dr. Morgan player into play in the VIP area, advance to Act 3A, all in. Dr. Francis Morgan is this fella here. Gain +1 fight. After you defeat an enemy, exhaust Dr. Francis, draw 1 card. Very nice. So he goes into play in the VIP area. All in. Yeah, that did say all in, didn't it? All in. 3A. With or without Dr. Morgan, you have to get out of here fast. While Dr. Morgan is not controlled by a player, he gains parlay, test intellect 3. Dr. Morgan comes out. If you succeed, place 1 clue from the token bank on him. If there are 2 clues on Dr. Morgan, take control of him. Objective: if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. Okay, so we need to get back to the back alley and we need to try and get hold of Dr. Morgan. Dissonant voices is causing us a problem. Parlay 3. We would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because these are assets. Oh, I can't play assets. I can't play assets or events. Okay. Third action, draw a card. Summoned Hound. That's Charlie done. Oh, Carson really could have done without this O'Banion's thug. Hits for 2. I'm on 2 health. Ugh. God. 4 versus 5 versus 4 is the best I can do. But I'm only doing 1 damage. Drawing that O'Banion stuck right then. hits for 2. I'm on 2 health. I can't gain a resource because that causes an attack of opportunity. I can't play the Hunter's Armour. Can't play As You Wish because that's another investigator. I can't play Hallowed Mirror because I get an attack of opportunity from the O'Banion's Thug. I can't kill him. Working this through, so I'm a fight 2. If I use the wolf mask, that takes me to 4. I could chuck the one in the chamber in to take me to 5 versus 4, but that would only do 1 damage if I pass. And then I'm in 2 versus 4 for the next attack. Ah, can I evade? I've got to evade it. I've got to evade it. So 2 versus 2, 3 versus 2. 3 versus 2 is the best I can get. Ah, plus 2. Oh, okay, right, okay. Let's think this through. So, first action is to evade the O'Banion's Thug. I will use the wolf mask to give me plus 2 evade. So 4 versus 2. Then we'll chuck in the one in the chamber, 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. Minus 2. We are successful. We evade it. Second action. Move to the bar. Just get away from them. Third action. Pay 2 for Hallowed Mirror. Limit 1 per deck. Forced. After Hallowed Mirror enters play, search your bonded cards for 3 copies of Soothing Melody. Add 1 to your hand and shuffle the other 2 into your deck. There's Soothing Melody. Soothing Melody is heal 2 damage or 2 horror. So we'll take that into our hand. These 2 will be shuffled in. Okay. Catweasel cut. And that was Carson's third action. Enemy phase. Mobster doesn't move, and then O'Banion's Thug doesn't actually ready yet. We go to the upkeep phase, then we ready cards. So O'Banion's Thug is going to ready, but he's not going anywhere. He stays there. As does, oops, as does the Clover Club, as does the Mobster. Okay. We get our actions back. We gain a resource. Am I going to gain a resource? I think I will gain a resource. Gain a resource. Draw a card. Art student. Wolf mask. Can't have that, but it's a fight symbol. Or an agility symbol. Very nice. Dissonant voices goes. That's it for upkick phase. We move to the mythos phase. 2 of 7. We draw a card for Charlie. We draw Frozen in Fear. First time you perform any of the following: move, fight, or evade. It costs an additional action. At the end of your turn, test will 3. Okay. And then Carson is going to get Swarm of Rats. Flipping Nora. I know Carson's my tank, but give us a break, game. Give us a break. Come on. Okay, move to the investigating phase. We're going to need to try and parlay with Francis Morgan a couple of times. Will 3. Will 3, you say? Will 3. Okay. First action is to parlay. I will exhaust Cat Burglar because he's got the will symbol. So it's 1, 2, 3. 3 versus 3. I'll chuck a Bonnie Walsh in for the 2 wild symbols. So 5 versus 3. Five versus 3. +1. We succeed. We put a clue token onto Dr. Francis Morgan. Second action is to parlay. Only 1 now though. 2 for Dark Horse. Actually, second action, draw a card. Baroness Compass. I was hoping it was going to be. Actually, we get plus. Oh no, we've spent in resources. Drawn the card now. Okay. Third action, gain a resource. Thinking about next turn now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. That's it for Charlie. At the end of your turn, test will 3. Bloody Nora. Can't get rid of that. Three versus 1. 3 versus 1. We fail at -2. Makes no difference. That is annoying. Carson's got to deal with these rats. Oh, swarm of rats engaged us, so we get a wolf mask. So we're going to fight with the wolf mask. First action against the swarm of rats, we'll use the wolf mask. So we're at now 4. 4 versus 1. We'll chuck the other wolf mask in to make it 5 versus 1. Five versus 1. +1. We're successful. We do 1 damage to it. Kills it. Second action, we're going to play Soothing Melody. Heal 2 damage or 2 horror, any combinations from your investigators. I'll heal 2 damage. Takes me back up to 4. One, 2. We draw a card as well for Soothing Melody. We draw a Soothing Melody. We will, last action, we'll play a Soothing Melody to heal 1 and 1. So we're back up to 5 and 5. 1 and 1. And we draw a card. As you wish. We need to get Carson across. That's it for Carson. We go on to the enemy phase. Nothing happening here, nothing happening here. We're all good. Upkeep phase. We ready everything. We get our actions back. We ready up. We gain a resource. We draw a card. Okay. Burden of Leadership. If you control no ally assets, shuffle Burden of Leadership back into your hand. Otherwise, for each ally asset you control, either exhaust or deal 1 direct damage, or deal it 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror. Okay. We'll exhaust Alice, because she can't take it. And we'll deal each of the Cat Burglar 1 and 1 and Madame Lebranche 1 and 1, just in case. We're drawing a card for Carson. Backpack. Oh, that could be handy. That could be very handy. One that engages. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's it for the upkeep phase. So, we've readied Mythos phase. We're going to do 3 of 7. We need to get Shifty on. Charlie is going to get a swarm of rats. Carson is going to get not an enemy, Twist of Fate. plus 1. That's a positive number, so nothing happens. Finally, a bit of luck for Carson. We go on to the investigators phase. Right. Going to activate Carson. First action. It's going to move into the Clover Club card room, which engages the mobster, which puts a tick on the wolf mask. Second action, we're going to attempt to evade the mobster, taking 1 off there, so we're 4. We're going to put the backpack in for 5. 5 versus 2. Five versus 2 plus 1. We succeed. We evade it. He's evaded. Third action, he's going to move into the darkened hall. Cool. Now, Charlie, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to fight the swarm of rats for his first action. We're going to pay 3 to play Trial by Fire, taking my base skill value to 5. Dark, we've got no resources, so we are plus 1, so we're now at 6. 6 versus 1. I think that's going to be enough. Six versus 1. That's an additional action because of Frozen in Fear, so we're taking 2 actions to do that. 6 versus 1. Minus 2. We're successful, we kill it. And then for my third action, I'm going to have another go at parlaying. We'll exhaust Cat Burglar. So 1, 2, 3. 3. 4 for Dark Horse. 5 for Dark Horse. So 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. Minus 2. We're good. We put the second clue onto Dr. Morgan, which means we get him. We take control of him. And I don't have to discard any allies. Put Dark Horse down here because I'm allowed 3 additional ally slots, so 4 in total. Dark Horse is gone. And that's it for Charlie. We'll test Frozen in Fear. We're at 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3 on Frozen in Fear. We need the plus 1. Minus 3. Nope. So Frozen in Fear stays in play. Okay. We move on to the enemy phase. The Banyan's thug stays there, he stays there. No other enemies in play. We move to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. Gain a resource. We draw a card. Get an art student. I think we're at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're okay. We're at 6. We draw a card. We get evidence. We're good. We ready these. We ready that. We go to the mythos phase. 4 of 7. Charlie's going to draw a card. He gets an Banyan's thug. We draw a card for Carson. He gets cursed luck. We go to the investigator phase. Okay, I think I've got this. Charlie is going to take 2 actions to move down to here. He takes an attack of opportunity from O'Banion's thug. He'll put both of those onto Dr. Francis Morgan, who's got 4 health. It says the first time you perform one of the following actions each round, it costs an additional action. So that's the first time. For his third action, he is going to move to the back alley. He will take 2 damage for that. 1, 2. So he's down to 3. And that's his turn done. He will try and get rid of Frozen in Fear. We will exhaust Cat Burglar to give him an additional 2. So it's 3 versus 3. I've got nothing I can chuck in there. Nothing I can chuck in there. 3 versus 3. Yes, 0. Frozen in Fear goes. That's it for Charlie. Carson is going to move into the back alley. He will then give an additional action to Charlie. Immediately take an action as if it were their turn. He will do the action to resign, get out of here. He will take 2 damage, but let's put it on Alice. and Madame Lebranche, which unfortunately kills both of them, but we're not worried about that. So Charlie has resigned. That was an action for Carson. Carson's second action will be to resign in the back alley. Hopefully, we're done. So, if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. You escape the club doing your best to look inconspicuous as several cars pull up near the street. A handful of grim-faced men and women exit, running towards the restaurant's entrance to take control of the situation. One of them catches your eye, his hand on the grip of his .38, but thankfully he turns his attention back to the rest of the crew and follows them into the club. You breathe a sigh of relief. If investigators resigned with Dr. Francis Morgan under their control, Resolution 2. Resolution 2. What in the world? Dr. Morgan finally breaks out of his daze as you make your way safely. You ask him what he remembers and he sputters and shakes his head. It's all a haze, he explains, visibly exhausted. I was having the run of my life. Perhaps I had too many shots. But those creatures, I haven't seen anything like that since. He trails off and you can tell his mind is racing. His eyes widen with realisation and his face pales. I may not be in the best shape, but I'll help you with my your investigation, whatever it takes. In your campaign log, record that the O'Banion has a bone to pick with the investigators. In your campaign log, record that the investigators rescued Dr. Morgan. Any one investigator may choose to add Dr. Francis to their deck. Then it does not count towards the investigator's deck size. If the players cheated, no, we didn't cheat, add a token to the deck. And then we get experience points to the value of the victory display. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 XP, which I think is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. 4 XP to spend. And we've got Dr. Francis Morgan. That's good. I enjoyed that. There was a bit twitchy there for a bit. But I think I've done everything well. If I haven't and made a mistake, I apologise. But that's quite a good start to the campaign, I think. I think we got pretty much done as best as we could. Getting the hallowed mirror at that time was really good. And when I worked out I actually don't have to kill monsters all the time. I can evade them. Evade of 2 there with the O'Banion Stag was the clutch, I think. But really enjoyed that. Really enjoying how these decks work. Loving Charlie. He's pretty good. Anyway, we'll move on to extracurricular activity for the next episode. But I hope you're enjoying it. If you do, if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Heading towards the magic 500 with some views going up, we potentially could unlock membership for the channel, which would be really nice. But anyway, I'm going to leave you to it, and I hope you're enjoying what you're doing, and thank you for watching. So ta-ra for now.